Hello, and thank you very much for joining us on our show. And today we'd like to talk about the outbreak of the coronavirus that is practically affecting the entire world, all of humanity. And today we have Dr. Leitman with us. Hello, Dr. Leitman. Hello, everyone. Dr. Leitman, more than 3,000 people have already died as a result of the outbreak of the coronavirus that first broke out in China and is now spreading rapidly around the world. And the question is, how should we as a mankind deal with this virus? There are many problems along the way as we develop. And every time we discover new viruses, new problems, also the climate that's warming up all the time, it emits such things from the planet that every day we discover something new. And also problems from the past can reappear. Things from 50,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago. We don't know where it all comes from. We weren't around back then. We're conscious of ourselves for only the past few thousands of years. And therefore, we'll reveal more and more of these viruses and other harmful things. What can we do? According to the wisdom of Kabbalah, it's simple. We have nothing to be afraid of if we're connected, because our connection generates a place, a force that kills all germs. As simple as that. Let's test it and see. For example, we just had a congress in the center of Tel Aviv. More than 5,000 people took part in it. There were people that came from 78 different countries. 78 countries. And we were together for 3 days, and even before that and after that, all in all, we were for about 10 days together. No one's ill. No one even had a running nose. A fever, something. Nothing. Nothing happened. Why? We have a disinfectant. We have this special substance that disinfects all germs, which is our connection. And it's truly so. It's the force of nature that acts against all bad forces. If people want to connect, to come together, nothing can stand against that. By that, they simply disinfect everything and kill all harmful things, spiritually harmful, corporeally harmful things, everything. And therefore I had no doubt that we needn't cancel the Congress. People turned to me and said, maybe we should cancel the Congress, maybe at least pregnant women, or that women with babies won't come. There are ill people that for them it's forbidden altogether to be where there are viruses and so on. Nothing. My daughter is 5 months pregnant. She was at the Congress all 3 days, from morning till evening. Nothing happened. The thought of her staying at home or maybe not coming to the Congress never crossed my mind. And this is why I'm saying that we have a remedy. Only it's a bit hard to use it. People have to learn how to use our connection. And that this connection can really destroy all harmful things, starting with viruses that are on the biological level, and on the spiritual level, and on different corporeal levels, and especially in the relationships between us. How is it that the connection between people acts as a remedy that protects us, cures us from all the different problems and diseases in the world? Maybe it seems mystical, unrealistic, but actually the connection between people, because it's on the highest possible level in our world. We have the degrees of the still, the vegetative, the animate, and the speaking level. So on the levels of the still, the vegetative, and the animate, nature exists as it is, but on the speaking level, on the human level, if people have a good connection between them, then there is the transaction of energy and relations and forces in such a way that by it is it then possible to really, as if, disinfect all the thoughts, all the problems, all the relations. Whereas if we're not working toward correcting the relationships, the relations between people, then by that we cause the increase and the appearance of all different harmful biological things, for example, like viruses or other forces like volcanoes, tsunamis, and so on, hurricanes. So therefore, it all depends on the relations between people, because we're on the highest level in nature, and the relationships between us calm nature down or order it to go wild. The coronavirus has already spread to over 70 countries around the world. It shows us how interdependent we are. Yes, it's interesting that we're looking for how do these viruses pass from one to another, through airplanes, through different things. They don't even come through that. They come through our thoughts, that we're connected between us in one field. And if I think about you in a certain way, by my thoughts, I awaken in you different thoughts of yours that cause different actions and results and phenomena in you. It's known to people that are engaged in international security and things like that. And the wisdom of Kabbalah understands this. So our thoughts are the most destructive or the best possible force that can be in nature, and unfortunately for the time being, they're destructive. And therefore, developing vaccines or antibiotics against these viruses won't help us. Not at all. Eventually, if it won't be this virus, then it will be another one. We have to understand that we have to take care of the relationships between people. If our thoughts, if our relations will be good, then no virus will break out. So, if I correctly understand, a bad thought is a thought that causes separation between us. Yeah. So, if this clothes in a person's body, then this is what we see as a disease? Of course. And it's a disease on the highest level. And it's something that we can't prevent because we have no connection to the thoughts. We can't know who thinks what, how, and also we can't really control ourselves, and therefore it's a problem. It's necessary to teach people how to control their thoughts so that they'll be good toward everyone. Only this way will we be able to get rid of all the viruses. How is it possible to teach a person such a thing? The wisdom of Kabbalah. This is what it does. There is nothing else. Only the wisdom of Kabbalah. It's not natural for a person. A person thinks only about himself. Of course, therefore you need a special wisdom, a special method that explains to a person and gives him exercises, also group exercises, so that he'll be able to have good thoughts about others. And it's as if simple, but there's nothing more opposed to human nature. And when a person starts correcting himself, then he starts seeing that the world's changing towards him. He starts feeling that around him there is a special force, the so-called upper light, that works and arranges the entire world in a good and nice way. And a person enters this force and lives in it. And then he doesn't get any of these viruses, like corona or other viruses. He has no problem with it. So when we were at the Congress, I was afraid that someone from the Ministry of Health might come and say that we have to close the Congress down, because 5,000 people in the biggest city in Israel are connecting, bonding, hugging, eating together, kissing, breathing the same air, and are really for 3 days together in the same place. And all the air there is really filled with viruses, and no one caught anything. It's all because we used the strongest and most correct disinfectant. So this could be as an example for mankind how the force of connection can act to everyone's benefit. Yeah, it cleans everything, arranges everything, purifies everything. Can you explain how does it work in practice? How does the force of connection on the human level, how can it influence other degrees in nature for the better? By wanting to be mutually connected in a common thought toward a common goal, by this we generate a field, a force, each in his own thought. A thought is a force, a field, and we connect all of our forces, and then we have a force field that's higher than all other possible fields. Physical fields, biological ones, doesn't matter what. It's the highest field. And if we really put it above ourselves, wanting for it to connect us, that we all want to connect to that one field, for all of us to be as one man in one heart, all of us as friends, as brothers, then nothing can harm us. This is simply how it works, because a person's thought is the highest thing that he can generate, and therefore it destroys all the germs, viruses that are under it. The lower degrees or levels in nature, meaning the still, the vegetative, and the animate. Right. So the projection, it comes from a field of love, connection. This is what the general, common, positive force arranges, and it destroys all negative things. And therefore, there's really nothing to be afraid of. There are things that you really can't explain. How a person can, I don't know, drink poison, do I don't know what. If he's correctly connected to the spiritual field, there's nothing that can harm him. Sounds like a movie. Yeah, we deserve an Oscar, a Nobel Prize. But still, people have to take care of themselves, watch out. People have to protect themselves by being connected in a good connection with us, and then they all the time get an antivirus that will protect them. Thank you very much. Thank you, and good health to everyone.